Hello my friends, welcome to the Wicked Bitter channel. I'm Travis, thank you for checking out this video. If this is your first time here and you love WWE content, this is the channel for you. We talk about Raw, SmackDown. I would love to say that we talk about NXT. Sometimes we do, but not that much. That's something I'm going to work on, I will say that. But we always talk about the PLEs. What we do here, we do previews, we do reviews, we do predictions. I will be coming out with a video this week with my Crown Jewel predictions. But tonight, right now, we're talking about Monday Night Raw. I should have mentioned, if you love WWE and you follow the product, you love watching WWE week in and week out, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and that's everybody. Even the people who already subscribe to this channel, subscribe again. I'm just playing. But definitely like the video. It helps me out. Get this video out there to other people who don't even know about this channel, who also love wrestling. I mean, I want to get as many wrestling fans on this channel as humanly possible. I want this to grow to be like the biggest channel ever. And I will admit, we started this year with like 58, 78 subscribers, something like that. We are close to 1,600 now. I mean, that's a huge jump. What a successful first year. I'm very happy. I'm very proud. I'm very grateful for everybody who has subscribed to this channel. Trust me, it's taken a lot of work, posting all the time, whether it be social media or even on YouTube, the editing, all that kind of stuff, whatever. All of that is worth it when I get a chance to talk to all of you. I truly do appreciate it. So if you love wrestling content, what's another channel, huh? Just subscribe to another channel. Subscribe to this one. Yeah, let's get into Monday Night Raw. First of all, I want to say right out of the gate, I don't want to start this thing off negative, right? But we are Wicked Bitter here. So I'm not a fan of, and I'm actually, that's putting it nicely, I really could care less about, about these guys carrying in the Crown Jewel title in like this big case. And like, it's been happening for the past few weeks. It's like how the show starts. They bring in the title. It's like these security guys. It's like they're walking the president out to like the stage or something. Like they carry this case. They open it, and one guy always looks at them and he nods like, "All right, cool, you cool. All right, you can come in now." It's like, oh, well, I get it. You're trying to make it seem like it's this big deal, but the whole concept sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it, and I could do without it. I really could care less. Cody versus Gunther, I love it. For the Crown Jewel Championship, I don't care. So because I am posting this video later than what I originally had planned, I usually record these right after Monday Night Raw, and then I have them post the next day so that we can all talk about it. I ended up falling asleep after Monday Night Raw. I was like, yeah, I'm going to record, but let me just watch like 5 minutes of this football game, and I ended up falling asleep. So I woke up at like 1 in the morning. I was like, all right, it's too late for me to do this, and I have to be out, get up for work in like 4 hours. So I just put it aside until I came home from work today, which is right now. So this video will be posting a little late. I apologize for that, but because of that, I'm going to cut out some things on Monday Night Raw that I don't think were that important. Like, I don't need to tell you that Sheamus beat Kaiser, even though I just did. Like, stuff like that are not like huge talking points. I'm just going to leave out. But one thing that did happen, it was the way to start Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso comes out. He talked about how he went to SmackDown and cost the Tongans the tag team championships after they cost him the Intercontinental Championship on Monday Night Raw. And as he's talking about that, Jimmy Uso comes out. Jimmy Uso comes down to the ring. He tells Jey that he thanks him for doing what he did. He thanked him for fighting off the bloodline, and now they're the ones. Or he's saying that they're not the ones. And Jey said, guess what? We're not the ones either. Jey said it's no longer us being twins and where nobody can tell us apart, and we're like one person. It's not that anymore. He said, now I've defined myself as an individual. I'm Yeet, you're not Yeet. You're Jimmy, I'm Jey. I won the Intercontinental Championship without my family. I did it all alone. He distinguished like we are by ourselves. That's that. But he said that they are still twins. You're still my brother. Like, even though I don't want to be doing any of this, I don't want to get the band back together for a tag team run, whatever. I'm doing this. I did this because, we are blood. You are my bloodline. We are twins. That stuff is not as important as you being my twin. So I thought that was pretty cool. We got the Tongans out here. We got Solo and Jacob out here. Ends up being a whole brawl between everybody, and what ends up with Jey and Jimmy fighting off the Tongans and Jacob, and standing in the ring tall. And not the Usos, the Tongans, Jacob Fatu, and Solo leave. But one thing that Jimmy did ask was that Jay come to SmackDown and squash the beef with Roman. He said that he'll make sure Roman's there for it, and Jay agreed. He said he'll be at SmackDown, and I know I read some stuff. Last SmackDown, I guess there were 2 SmackDowns. We saw the SmackDown where the Usos hugged, but I think they filmed another SmackDown after that, which makes sense because Crown Jewel's coming up this weekend. They're not going to be in the States. So I guess they filmed and pre-recorded a SmackDown to air this Friday, and we saw some spoilers. So those things that I did mention on the last video, I'm not going to say them here, but what happened in the last video is what we're going to see on SmackDown. So, it is true, all that stuff that happened. But anyway, it was a good way to start Monday Night Raw. One thing I will mention, backstage here, we get the Judgment Day and Adam Pearce, and he mentions to Dominic Mysterio that his former World Heavyweight Champion opponent tonight is going to be Damian Priest. Let me show you my shocked, surprised face when I heard this. That was my face. Did we all see it coming? I feel like we did. I think they could have done something cool here. They could have had like Seth Rollins face Dominic for the main event in the main, of Monday Night Raw. I think that would have been amazing. And if you still wanted Seth to lose, then you could have had Bronson Reed come out and cost Seth Rollins the match. But no, they did Damian, and we'll get into that match later on. But that whole thing was not a shocker. Even last week when he mentioned you'll face a former World Heavyweight Champion, I'm like, all right, it's Damian. Like everybody knew that was coming. I don't know. I think this Monday Night Raw fell a little flat in a lot of areas. Here, I think, was the biggest moment of the night, and I'm going forward a little bit. The biggest moment of the night is when Jimmy and Jay were walking in the halls backstage. They bump into Sami Zayn. He shows some love to Jay, says what's up to Jay. He asks if Jay and he can talk, and Jay was like, yeah, what's up? And then Sami says, no, I just want you and me. Can we talk alone? And he stares dead in the face of Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't look happy about it. Jay says, hey, Jimmy, it's cool, I got it. And they talk. And Sami brings up some valid, good points here. I thought this was the best part of Monday Night Raw, in my opinion. It was just a small backstage segment where Sami was just questioning Jey Uso's decisions. And we've been seeing a lot of this lately. And I liked it because it's continuity. It's the bloodline just terrorized everybody for years. And there were people who came in and out of that story to either help Cody or to help Jay. Like it was Sami was in the mix. Like Kevin Owens was in that mix. Randy Orton was in that mix. All helping Cody Rhodes. And Seth Rollins was in it. Seth Rollins took the biggest bullet at WrestleMania for Cody Rhodes. Like all of this is going to resurface. You know it's going to. And it already starting to. Kevin Owens with his heel turn on Cody. And now I'm getting similar feelings here from Sami Zayn. Sami's questioning Jay, like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? You don't have to do this. You don't have to pick. It's not the lesser of two evils thing. You don't have to pick one or the other. You can just not get involved at all. And he just doesn't understand. And Jay said, you know what? You know you're not going to understand because you're not family. And then he walks off, and Sami looks upset. This reminded me a little bit of what's going on with Kevin Owens and Cody. Now, does WWE do the Sami Zayn turn? Do they make Sami Zayn turn heel? It's interesting because Sami is very valid in his opinions of what happened with Jay. He was there in the trenches. He helped Jay. He was against Jay at some point. But Sami was under the thumb of Roman Reigns for a long time too. And I could see him feeling justified if he were to turn heel here. But we'll see. He's so beloved by the WWE fans that I don't know if WWE would turn Sami Zayn. But we could be living in a time where both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are both heels, and they're both upset at just the bloodline in general and Cody Rhodes and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's something there with that. I don't know if they'll do it. And if they do it, I don't know if they'll put Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn together somehow. But I think there is something to be had there. Eventually, Jimmy Uso and Jay meet up backstage, and Jimmy says that he'll talk to Sami Zayn, and Jay's like, no, because when you do that, something bad's going to happen. And Jimmy said, no, I just want to talk to him. We're just going to have a conversation. Let me talk to Sami. You have my word. We're just going to talk. So we are all interested to see what's going to happen with that later on. It was a very Uso-heavy Monday Night Raw, and it was cool. But to me, that was the best part of Monday Night Raw, other than what we're going to talk about next. And what happened next was Seth Rollins coming out to the ring. He wants to call out Bronson Reed. He says, hey, I'm here to hunt monsters. And as he's doing that, Bronson Reed shows up on the Titantron. He's in the parking lot. He says, hey, if you want to hunt monsters, come on, I'm right here. I'm in the parking lot. So Rollins marches back there. You know, Pierce is trying to stop him backstage from getting into the parking lot. Seth Rollins doesn't listen. He gets out there, and Seth brawls with Bronson Reed in this parking lot, and I loved every second of this. Other than the whole Uso and Sami and that whole stuff going on Monday Night Raw, this was the best thing that happened. I thought it was really cool. They definitely took what they had with the whole Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman parking lot brawl, and they wanted to do it again here, but with Seth, because it is such a big talking point, and visually, it's really cool to see. These guys threw each other into everything. Car, the big 18-wheeler, you know, they actually went inside of the back of the 18-wheeler and fought and threw each other off stuff, and Bronson did a Death Valley driver through some tables. At the end there, Seth Rollins curb stomped Bronson Reed onto a car hood. And I thought when he did it, I thought Seth Rollins was going to crack his head on that windshield because it was that close. Even before he jumped, I was like, ooh, this may not end well. There's not a lot of room here, but ended up pulling it off. And like I said, Bronson ended up putting both of them through tables off of the 18-wheeler back into a bunch of tables. It was awesome. That part and the whole Usos and Sami stuff, that was my favorite parts of Monday Night Raw. I will mention quickly here, the War Raiders defeated Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and the New Day. And at the end of this match, it was Chad Gable who pulled Rey Mysterio out of the ring and kept him in an ankle lock to help secure the victory here. The War Raiders, I'm glad they moved on. They become #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships, and I think that is going to be their titles. Like, I think they're going to take it off JD and Finn, because War Raiders, I could clearly see here that Triple H is like, he's got his guys back. He's got them back as War Raiders, so I think he's going to fully dive in with that. Good match, but we're kind of cooling off on the whole Kofi and Xavier stuff. There's little hints of, like, subtle hints of separation coming, but they're not doing all these backstage segments about them talking and disagreeing and whatever. So we'll see where they go from there. I think they're just trying to drag it along to get to their 10-year anniversary in November. So it'll happen after Crown Jewel. They'll start probably picking up that storyline a little more. But right now it's cooled off a little bit, but it's still a little there. We get Karrion Kross and the Final Testament without Paul Ellering coming up to Miz backstage after Miz was complaining to Adam Pearce. Was it Pearce he was complaining to? He was complaining to somebody. I forgot who. But Karrion Kross asks Miz what the plan is. Miz says, "Oh, plan is to get the hell out of here. Let's not stay and get the Wyatt Six all over us." And Karrion Kross says, "No, you're not going. No. You're gonna go talk to Howdy. You're gonna go find Howdy tonight. And if you don't, I will break your legs." And I was like, damn. Okay, Cross. But so it's kind of cool that Miz is being kind of like kept hostage here by the Final Testament. I kind of like that. They are clearly all going to be fighting with the Wyatt Six. That's obvious. But I was interested because he said, you're going to go find him tonight. And I'm like, well, we're like about to be in the main event. So how much time do we really have? Like, how is Miz going to go find Howdy and we're going to get something out of this? So I thought it was strange. But then we come to find out later on that Raw aired something after Raw where it was like Miz coming up to Woods and Kofi backstage and asking if they knew if they had Bo Dallas's number. And they're like, no, we haven't seen Bo Dallas in years. Bo Dallas has been around. It's like he's been on Raw. So I don't know. But it's fine. Miz walks away. He ends up opening his tour bus, and it's freaking Dexter Lumis in there, and he pulls him in and kidnaps the Miz. So they continue this on after Monday Night Raw, which I thought was cool. It's just some more social media content for us to absorb and see. It's almost like Raw never ended, almost. So that was pretty cool. I just wanted to mention that because that's kind of a big thing. It's progressing the storyline, and if they captured Miz, how does the Final Testament get Miz back? And if Miz is going to be held hostage by the Wyatts, what do they do to mess with the Miz? I wonder if they change him somehow or something comes from that. That'd be very interesting to see. We get a quick backstage moment here where Jimmy is walking through the parking lot. He's going to go try to find Sami Zayn before on the way out. And he sees something happening. Jay cuts into the frame. He says, "Hey, what's up, man?" Jay tells him to quiet down and to look out into the parking lot. And it's Sami Zayn talking to Solo Sikoa. While Solo is in a car, Sammy's standing outside of it. They're talking, and everybody's just like, whoa, what's going to happen here? I don't think it's going to be anything, to be honest with you. If they're going to have Sami Zayn turn, I think it's going to happen at War Games. Like we've talked about this. We've actually legitimately had back and forths, you and I, about whether Sami joins in the Bloodline match, and it's obvious that they want that to happen. Like they're teasing it. Like whether they're teasing he's not going to be on the Uso side, he is still involved now in this storyline. So I would imagine Sami Zayn is going to join the Usos and Roman Reigns. It's just going to take a few weeks or a couple of weeks to do the convincing, the apologizing, whatever it's going to take. But I think Sami's going to go into that match with the tease of him maybe turning on them in War Games and joining and helping Solo, which I don't think would be the case either, because why would Sami Zayn do that? And we're going to figure out, I guess, in the upcoming weeks what Solo was telling Sami and what that conversation would be. But it's a cool tease. You know, it keeps everybody interested in this whole thing. But I do think Sami Zayn will be the final member of Roman Reigns' team for the War Games match that we all think is going to happen. We get to our main event. It is Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio. You know, it's kind of whatever at this point. You know, it's fine. It just was a very like average Raw to me. I just was not crazy about it. But they have their match. Judgment Day get involved. Damian Priest ends up hitting both JD McDonough and Carlito with a chair, and then Dominic ends up rolling Priest from behind, gets the win, which I think surprised a lot of people here. I just want Priest to move on from this. I just want Judgment Day and Priest to move on from one another, and I want Rhea Ripley to move on from Liv. I'm kind of over it. You know, I'm kind of over the Terror Twins still beefing with Judgment Day. Let's just do something else here. I feel like WWE has no direction for any of them right now, except to just face one another and just stretch it out for as long as they can. But yeah, Priest loses to Dominic. After the match, he ends up giving a South of Heaven to both Carlito and Dominic, I think it was, and that's kind of how the show ends. It wasn't anything crazy, but yeah, he loses. I don't think I saw Finn during all that. Like, where was Finn? Am I just forgetting, or am I thinking incorrectly? I don't think Finn joined for the distraction or for the aftermatch stuff. Like, I don't think Finn was even there, so I don't know what happened with that. But if you know or remember, please let me know. But yeah, I mean, that was Monday Night Raw. That was pretty much it. It was kind of a quicker, condensed version, I think, this time. But, posting it a little late. So, yeah, you guys let me know what you think. We'll be coming out with another video. It will be doing the predictions for Crown Jewel, and I would love to do an email video. So if you have predictions about Crown Jewel and you want to send them in an email, wickedbittermedia@gmail.com, or if you just want to send in an email like you normally do about anything you want, just send it in. I'll make a video about that, and we'll answer them on the next video. But until then, my friends, have a good rest of your week. Look out for the next video in the next couple of days. I will see you all on the next video until we yeet again. As always, stay bitter. Double guns. Stay bitter.